Outside Bashem Rakadash.
Double honors to the apostles out in New York, Great Millstone, GMS. Honors to all Akim around the planet, lifting up the name of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, and truth and sincerity. Shalom to Aqua, who are obedient to their husbands. You cannot leapfrog over your husband to get to Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai. With no further ado, we're going to jump straight into it. The leaping point that we're going to start off is all the hooks are cast. All the hooks are cast. All right, someone can give me Ezekiel 38, and we'll start at the top. We're going to read on, we probably, well, Lord willing, we'll see. We're going to try to read this chapter. But a lot of things are going on in prophecy right now, especially when it comes down to Russia, Ukraine, and the United States.
Right, I think today on the 5 o'clock news, they're trying to celebrate the Ukrainian independence, but they basically are having them empty the American embassy, I think, in Kiev. All right, so yeah, exactly. The Ezekiel 38, right on.
Well, what we hope, first of all, in order for the MOTB to come, for the World War III to come, the MOTB got to be set up. But the Lord is doing things where everything is happening simultaneously. Simultaneously.
Yeah.
Everything will help us around.
We got a couple of different proverbial snowballs on rolling.
Mm-hmm. Avalanche on the preparation into World War III. Okay, but all the stage is set. If the stage is set or it's being set, then you already know, which we already know on the one side, the MOTV is already being set. But we are here matching up with the scriptures, and we want to show you that we're knocking on the door.
Right, because the scripture says, measure out the time diligently in itself.
Get it.
And, you know, the major prophecy of the kingdom of heaven being set up, and right before that, you must have the destruction of this present evil world. And so this is going into, you know, the comings up right before that same said destruction. Mm-hmm. And you know, since we know the destruction is coming, Second Peter says, well, what manner of persons are ye to be in all holy conversation, knowing that all these things shall be dissolved by this fire. All right, that's coming. All right,
that's right. And all you got to do is go look at the news on Ukraine, Russia, NATO, United States, and it's just a whole bunch of shit. And the funny part is, Ukraine is part of Russia. They broke off, all right, and they want to do their own thing. If you're an Israelite and if you have 12 tribes, and Ephraim said, you know what, we good, y'all do y'all. What do you think the rest of the 12 tribes is going to do? That's okay. Hey, take him, put him in his cage, since he needs to move around. Put him in his cage. But just what happened with Benjamin when the sons Belial acted a fool against the other 12 tribes? It was almost a tribe eradicated.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? You can't leave your nation, right? You cannot not be a part of your nation because you are a part of that nation, right?
Right, because the history with Russia and Ukraine, I think it was around the 90s, early 90s, where they came into an agreement to where Ukraine joined into a pact with Russia, and they gave them all their nuclear weapons, because at one point in time, Ukraine was a superpower, but Ukraine gave over 3,000 nuclear weapons to Russia to secure their agreement with each other. And now you want to join NATO, you pretty much signed with the enemy after we didn't went through all of this, and now you gonna turn your back on me?
Now look at the rhetoric. The United States keeps saying, hey, Russia's about to attack Ukraine. Russia's about to attack Ukraine. Russia's about to attack Ukraine.
They pissed off.
Russia's like, we're not about to attack Ukraine. We're not trying to attack Ukraine. We're not trying to stop saying we're trying to attack Ukraine. All Russia is saying, Ukraine can't be part of NATO. We already got to deal with them. They trying to do what they're doing. Irregardless of what they doing, ain't got nothing to do with you, NATO. Ain't got nothing to do with you, America. And if you come over here, and they sign a pact with NATO, that's basically putting NATO troops knocking on the door.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And that is the big thing. This is actually hotter than the Cuban Missile Crisis of the early 60s. This is actually a whole lot hotter than the Cuban Missile Crisis of the 60s, because Ukraine is right there. If you turn that into NATO and then able to put any kind of delivery system there, you've got less than 7 minutes for Moscow to be able to be hit. There's no time to retaliate. There's no time to do anything. And that's why it's like, no, you lost your mind now. So I'm gonna let you do this.
Second Ezra 9:1. And he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I had told thee before, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
That's right. So Papa coming, all right.
That's it.
He's sending his son, all right, to put a destruction on this place, and then salvation for the elect. And the elect are the ones that's gonna, straighten up and fly right. Okay,
That's it.
because ultimately we have to have a mindset of the new kingdom. We can't have a mindset and be conformed to this world. That's why the scripture says, "Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind," because all these things are about to happen. All right, and it says that wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of your salvation.
That's
So
it.
wisdom, knowledge of what? Of the will of the Father,
That's it.
of the righteousness of the Father. All right, and the will of the Father is to have a righteous kingdom that's going to be ruled by His Son, our Lord and Savior Yahushua, and subsequently also the governing body of the Israelites, starting off with the governing body of the elect. All right, and so we have to measure the times, measure the prophecies, because it says, "I declared the end from the beginning." So here it is. We're making known through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua that's resting upon us, all right? We're making known these things, and we're measuring the times, measuring the prophecies, measuring all these things that's happening geopolitically, geoeconomically, filtering them through the scriptures, all right, to let you know it's that time.
That's right. Now you look at this map. I'll kind of give it to you in a second. You look at this map. You got Russia right over here. This is Moscow, the center of Russia. If you pull it down, you see it's a whole bunch of Russia area, right? Now, strategically, you look at Ukraine. If Ukraine goes and allows to be join NATO and so forth, and they're allowed to join NATO and so forth, this is going to cause NATO basically to be at Russia's door.
Right.
They're knocking on Russia's door. All right, which means, hey, I got a missile pointed right at you. And see, you don't want nobody don't want another group of people to come to your house and just say, oh, this is your house? Well, I'm gonna put some troops in your house, okay? I'm gonna put a military base in your house. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna bring in some nuclear weapons and I'm gonna put it in your house. And it's like, well, no, nigga, you can't put no shit on my shit. I'm not at my doorstep. Hopefully, this is one of the hooks that the Lord is using, right? Because the hooks are all already cast. How everything's gonna play out, we're gonna see how it's play out through the spirit, all right?
And plus, Ukraine is also rich in uranium. It's like one of the most spots that has concentrated uranium. Uranium, they use uranium to make nuclear weapons,
and
right?
Nuclear power.
Right, and that's how Ukraine actually at one point had more nuclear weapons than everybody on the planet. But that's how they got so big. How they made them so fast is because they land is rich in uranium.
Well, it says Ukraine is a country in Eastern Europe. It is the second largest country by area in Europe after Russia, which borders to the east and northeast. So you have this big landmass, and you're talking about giving it to NATO and you're on their border. When they were a part, Belarus, Lithuania, all those were under the Russian vibration. You know what I'm saying? Now they're trying to, Ukraine trying to break away. I think the Elder Malcolm was talking about how many ships were in the Black Sea or the Baltic Sea.
Right.
This is the Black Sea right here to the bottom, and the Baltic Sea up to the top. And Russia is pulling all of their weaponry around to make sure that they have, something over here by the Baltic, something over here by the Black Sea, and that they're trying to protect themselves.
See,
right?
when you look at all that stuff since you got it up, see, this was all fought over at one point in time. Okay, and they, like Arala said, this was a big ground force war that occurred, and all this stuff was set. So, like you said, this was strategically fought, and they said, okay, we don't want to fight anymore, but we got to come to this agreement. Okay, and now they want to break the, like you said, you want to break the agreement, but it's like this has already been fought and established, and now you trying to subdue what we've already got in place. Okay, and like you said, and the fucking narrative is Russia trying to Russia said we like you said Russia said we already agreed to this. We already so why y'all
Ukraine going against the grain.
But I mean, see, this is Esau.
Yeah.
Russia is Esau, and America's Esau. Europe is Esau. It's kingdom against kingdom. This is all part of it. All right. So we got a couple brothers who still. What you got?
Isaiah,
What 19?
Egyptian against Egyptian.
Oh, that's 19. Yeah.
Kinda.
So hold on, just hold that real quick, because that was on the list. But I know you had the Ezekiel 38. Were you finished with that one?
Yeah.
Another brother said they had something, right? Somebody had something.
I had something to back up what Yaki had to say
Go ahead,
about
brother.
the 12.
And then we're gonna get to this 38. Go ahead.
About the time and measuring it diligently. This is Esdras 14 and 11. For the world is divided into 12 parts. The 10 parts of it are gone already.
Gone all
And that goes over people's head.
Right.
That's how you know these theological or the theologian scholars and these apologists. They don't know the scriptures.
Right.
They talk about the earth is 14.9 billion years old and all this other shit, man. And we got more time to come. The Lord said, man, 2 parts was already passed. And when was this written? What book you in?
I'm in second Ezra.
So that's already over a couple thousand years ago.
That's 400 years before Yahweh Shai.
Come on, that's 2,400 years ago. All right.
Shit.
So now we in that last hour,
Yeah, we in that last.
and that's how we know that this is the time. Going back to what you mentioned before, measure the time diligently. That was it.
I always say wickedness gets his time
That's it.
and righteousness gets his eternity.
That's it.
And wickedness time, it wasn't even, this place ain't been, 7,000 years, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know, it gets his time, little time, just but for a moment. But go ahead.
So like Benji said, and that was 400 years before Yahweh Shai. So, and it says, and half of a 10th part, and there remaineth that which is after the half of the 10th part. So this is before Yahweh Shai, and that's 2,000 years. And then we looking at 2,000 years from Passover, like you said.
2,400, yes.
Yeah, 24. So where we sitting at for real?
Yeah, because even when Yahushua came on the scene in that Hebrews, it says, hath in these last
Last
days.
That was the last days then. That's
You know
not
what
the
I'm saying?
last days,
Yeah,
exactly.
when Yahushua came on the scene and was crucified, rose again, all right, the Bible calls that the last days.
So it's off and
So how much more right now? We're in the last day. See, that was the beginning of the last days 2,000 years ago.
the end of the
You know what
end.
I'm saying? Exactly. We're at the end of the last days.
That's it.
Right.
Apostle Roland says CTD, Southern Missouri.
Southern is right. I was just gonna say that.
That's right.
That's it. That's
Plug
it.
and
So-
fool, man.
That's it. That's it. So go ahead, y'all, because I put that Hebrews 1 on the screen for those who can see it. But go ahead, you can go ahead.
Kind. So this is Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 1. It says, and the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog and the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him. And say, Thus saith the Lord power, Behold, I am against thee, O God, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. And I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee.
Did you jump back to 4 again?
Yep. So going back to verse 4, it says, 3, it says, and say, Thus saith the Lord God, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal.
And if you go look back at the ancient maps, the region where Russia is now in is that area. Okay? And so as the Lord is talking about the Idumean Russian sect. All right, go ahead.
It says,
and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws.
See, now the thing is, it was an article came out not too long ago about they asked a couple of different kingdoms in Europe if there was a nuclear war, could you all win or whatever. Everyone said no. Everyone they asked, like, no, we don't want nuclear war because nuclear war is going to be bad for everybody and there's not going to be no winner. All right, Russia just said, look, we ain't trying to fight. A lot of these countries, they don't want to go into a nuclear war because they know once that nuclear war starts, it's going to change the landscape of everything. And these motherfuckers are very selfish about their pockets, and they want to stay in rulership and power, and they want to have some place to go to. If you start dropping off nukes, ain't nowhere to go to because there's going to be nuclear winners. You're going to have to go locked up in your bunker. So it's like, some of them, like, that's why Esau is so divided. Some are pushing it because they're looking for, the elites are looking for their plan, versus these lesser elites who might not be privy with the other elites are doing, but they're looking for their plan. And Lord is putting all kind of wrinkles and crinkles all up into Esau's plans. All right? So the Lord said, look, I'm going to have to put a hook, all right, to where I'm going to have to grab you, snatch you up, and pull you into this confrontation because y'all bullshit. Y'all keep playing games. Now, I don't know about y'all. Like I said, I don't want nobody putting no base on my property. If Ukraine, they go ahead on and get them to be part of NATO, and that could be that one last straw that make Russia say, you know what, no, I gotta fuck all you motherfuckers up.
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
they Russia supplying Venezuela and Cuba right now. They basically like, if you're gonna put people in my backyard, I'm gonna have troops in your backyard.
That's it. That's it.
Right.
That's it. So that's the Cuban Missile Crisis again.
All over again.
Because ultimately the will of the Father is happening. I want to hit this script in Proverbs 21.
That's a spirit. Oh shit, that's a spirit.
This is Proverbs 21:1.
You can't script it.
It says the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. All right, the king and all these, chief rulers of these different nations. Okay, it says the king's heart, which the Hebrew word for heart is lav, which means your mind. So the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. All right, so it's the Most High's will being done, and he's putting it into the minds of these people, and they're enacting, according to the will of the Father.
See now that you said that, this is 2 Kings 19:28, because when he uses that terminology, when it's using the terminology, put hooks in you, it'll actually give you the definition according to the Spirit what he mean by putting a hook in you. All right, this is 2 Kings 19:28. Because the rage against me, because thy rage against me and thy tumult is come up into mine ears. Therefore will I put my hook in thy nose and my bridle in thy lips, and I will turn thee back by the way by which thou camest.
I'm gonna steal your ass.
When the Most High wants to make you do a certain thing, to turn you away from whatever you're doing to do whatever he wants you to do, he'll put a hook in you, which means you put a hook in anything. If I grab a hook on this brother, matter of fact, we're doing jiu-jitsu, we put a hook, it's to grab you and be able to do what, turn you to where I want to turn you, or control you to how I want to control you. All right, the Most High is putting hooks. And matter of fact, we got one in. We'll get that one in a second. And Ezekiel, when he was talking about the Egyptians, he's gonna put a hook in Egypt, which is modern day America. He's putting hooks in them. The Lord is using. He's pulling this. That's a perfect scripture. This is the Lord's movie. Go ahead.
Didn't Russia and America just have peace talks last
Yeah.
last week?
Several times. Off and
Of
on.
course, but it was the one just last. If I'm not mistaken, it was last week. Capo.
We could have been this shit. The ambassador just went to go talk to Lavrov this week, to my knowledge.
That's
the
the
last-
point.
The last time I had spoken to that was 6 months ago.
And that's the scriptures, man. Look, the Lord said He's putting hooks in their mouth. They can try to have peace all they want. The Lord is doing what He's doing, man.
Add something real quick.
That's it.
It's Jeremiah 10:23. O Lord, I know that the way of man is not in himself. It is not in man that walketh to direct his step. The Lord directs your step to fulfill his will.
Right. Well, in that Job, it talks about, hey, he puts and sealeth your instruction, you know, at night upon the bed, you know, and then you go according to his will. That's why it says at the appointed time, these certain prophecies shall speak, shall happen. All right, who controls that appointed time?
That's it.
The Most High God.
God, so he fulfill all his counsel. Man.
That's it.
That's right. This is Zephaniah 3 and 8. Therefore, wait ye upon me, saith Yahweh, until the day that I rise up to the prey. So when the Lord return, this must be happening, right? But my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger. All the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. So when the Lord returns, there has to be war happening on the earth, man.
That's it. And he said, "What would I? Fire is already kindled."
Yeah.
Right? Because he said it's going to be already skirmishes and shit already started. If you go look at the conflict going on in South Korea versus North Korea, North Korea is on the Russia side, the China side. South Korea is on the American side. Okay, you got the conflict between China and America about Taiwan, and then the islands that they're creating
That's right.
right off of their own coast. And America's like, well, that's not y'all shit. He's like, nigga, we making this shit. It's my shit. We're pulling sand from over here and we're putting it over there and we're making our own shit. You ain't got no control over here.
That would be like a Ron building a car and whatnot. And he pulling all the parts in. They like,
Esau coming to
hey man, you know that thing up there on the top where the fucking van is at. That's mine, right? Go be your car when I'm done with this.
That shit actually happened to me fucking with Esau. I rebuilt the colors and they fucking they stole it.
Now,
They stole them, motherfucker.
Yes, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they stole it. Yeah.
There's articles on how they're trying to. It says that
Like
is
city
an Asian NATO in the next steps. So they're already on the working of that because of the new threats in the Asian, basically in that area where they're trying to build up like an Asian NATO. And again, NATO and EU were made to basically to defend against the old Soviet Union, which included those territories now known as Ukraine and
The whole shit from Belarus, Moldova, Ukraine, Crimea, a whole bunch of shit. And that's the reason why Esau on the left versus Esau on the right.
Esau.
But that's part of the divide.
Exactly.
Because they're saying, well, no, this is mine. No, this is mine. See, what we don't see, that whole divide, Democratic versus Republican, NATO versus Europe, Russia, and so forth. Esau ain't never been cool. Just look at Esau history. Go back into the Roman area
Empire
and see how many Caesars came into power just to be killed by another Edomite wanted to take his power.
Shit, sometimes they own damn kids.
Brutus, you too, Brutus. You know what I'm saying?
You supposed to thought you was my dog.
they all had a good chunk and they all started fighting over their territory.
Matter of fact, let's go. Yeah, Alexander, the 4 generals afterwards.
Yeah.
He say, okay, I'm dead. I'm gonna go ahead and split this up between y'all. And then they'll say, well, no, we'll go down. And then let's get this war. Esau cannot. The root of Esau is greediness at the core. He goes after his own belly. He wants him and whatever he wants. It's my money. Leave the door open, Baba Kushab.
Hey, I got one real quick.
It's
for
my
you.
money and I need it now. Open the door, Baba
Yeah,
Kushab.
the scripture tell you he that's evil to himself, whom should he do good to, man?
Got a quick. This is Revelation chapter 6, verse 4. It says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword.
That new.
That's his MO, man. All right, because ultimately this is how this destruction is gonna come forth, man. He said it shall come down upon your own pate, man. All right, you have different accounts of like even Haman, you know what I'm saying? He tried to destroy the Israelites and
The gallows built
it with the gallows.
Took his ass
And
out.
then he hung upon them
That same gallows
himself.
That's right.
All right.
And you know what's spiritual about that? Haman was trying to get control of the Persian Empire.
Right, he was trying to snake anyway.
Yeah. That's
Yep,
the
yep,
rest of
that's
it
a good point.
goes into it.
The Persian, because the script tell you, self not body, at least he looked over 30, man.
Yep.
That was all about, man. Like your brother just read, man. Power was given to him to take peace from the earth, man.
And
That's what he's
they
all
do.
about, man.
Exactly.
That's what he's all about, man. That's why I said when the wicked is in power, the people mourn, man. That's why the Lord can't get this man out the way, man.
I got something real quick. This Isaiah 34 and 16. Seek ye out the book of the Lord and read. None of these shall fail, none shall wander made. For the mouth they have commanded, and the spirit they have gathered in, man. All right, this is all number of prophecy, man. All right, because we go back to the Egyptian with the Egyptian. That's before this. So that was, everything that's happening now was intended to happen, man. The Lord already, he said, he declared the beginning from the end, or the end from,
Yeah. From the beginning.
Yeah,
That's it.
You got some here, second Ezra?
All right, kind of. But then we want to get back into that Ezekiel and yeah, kind of.
This is second Ezra 4. I'll read 28 and 29.
This is beautiful because the Most High is using Esau to destroy Esau. He's using the prophets to destroy. See, he's the Lord of hosts, man. He's the Lord of Sabaoth.
It's like he got a snake eating his own tail and shit.
That's his record. I got real quick. Ariana,
Go ahead.
this is Rock 14:6. There is none worse than he that envieth himself, and this is a recompense of his wickedness. His own greed, that's his recompense. He's taking himself down. He's destroying himself. He's not satisfied with his portion. He like, look, fuck that. I can't be cool with you other Edomites because I need all this shit. I'm top Edom. You ain't top Edom. I'm the reddest motherfucker. God damn it. Now they fucking each other up.
Top dog.
Right.
Oh, man, that's funny.
Hey, but that's the spirit. Hey, the Elder Karab, you said that terminology, the top dog. What's Esau's spirit? It's a dog eat dog world.
That's it.
No, that's not for the Israelite regime. That's how the so-called white man gets down, man.
Facts.
He's a damn demon, man, with no integrity.
Yes, sir. Second Ezra 4 and 28 and 29. It says, but as concerning the things whereof thou askest me, I will tell thee. For the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet come. If therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, and the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then cannot it come that is sown with good. So like the elder says, we read the prophecies, we know that this has to happen, and we know that none of the things that we want or the things that we want established can come until all this is destroyed, until all these things come to pass. So the world war, the implementation of the MO2B, and the beautiful thing about how fast things are moving now, all these crises are creating the scenario where a next one will be required, not only a pass, not only a mandate, man.
Hey, because right now we're in DEFCON 3. If we move to DEFCON 2, it immediately shuts everything down. It shuts communication down. They shut cell phones. They shut the internet down. And they
EMPD.
And then they implement martial law.
And that was on that little thing that was talking about that part coming, supposed to allegedly come in March.
So if DEFCON, if they go into DEFCON 2, which is they going to war, because DEFCON 1 is like, all right, it's nuke. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Everything is jumping in the air.
Right.
The supposed doomsday clock, they moved it up.
To 60 seconds away from midnight.
Yeah.
I thought it was 100 seconds. It was 100 seconds. The same difference. Same difference. Because if it's 100 seconds, a minute and a half.
They said 100 seconds?
Yeah, it was 100 seconds. That's what the article is saying.
Oh, okay.
But the same difference though. Because the bottom line is we're knocking on the door, and we can see it in every single way. That's why all the hooks are cast, man. Most High is turning this to His will, and it is beautiful watching it. It's like really poetry in motion.
Yeah.
Because we over here and we don't got no power. All we're doing is following the will of the Lord, and guess what?
And putting the
That's
word out.
all the power we need.
Put the word out.
What are you about to say?
I'm saying that's it.
That's it. Because remember, we were talking about it after camp yesterday. You look at the Jericho, and you look at us walking around Jericho 7 times, quiet, not saying shit. But then Lord said, now lift up that shout. And then when we lift up that shout, that the walls of Jericho fell down. We went around for a period of time not saying shit. But now when the Lord raised up that voice and we're crying aloud, lifting up our voice like a trumpet, now the more we cry aloud, the more we shake this kingdom, and the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is breaking Esau's queendom down.
I have hewed them down by the mouth of my prophets.
That's it. Get that. And go ahead and get in that 38.
Con. So back in Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 4, it says, "And I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaw."
Go ahead.
I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws.
Make you fight, nigga. Like the scripture says, they were scared to thirst fight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We gonna make you fight. Go ahead.
Well, just like it talked about how Pharaoh, his heart was hardened.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, he was like, "All right, man, I'm gonna let you go."
Fine, girl.
Oh, no,
But you just said told them let go. They're leaving.
no.
Fuck that shit.
That show you that was the Lord, man. Because the Lord, he already told Moses he was going to harden his heart, man.
That's it.
So it shows you the Lord's in control. That the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord.
And for this same purpose, have he raised Esau, Edom up? All right, that he might show his power in him, man. Okay. So this is all the will of the Father. But going back to Ezekiel 38 and 4, it says, "I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them, clothed with all sorts of armor."
And guess what Russia's known for? Also, matter of fact, they were showing a picture, and I would, if I had the video, I would cue it and playing it up. But they showing tank after tank after tank. This machine after this machine.
Russia got the best tanks.
Russia got the best weaponry in all of the planet right now.
Best steroids. Hey man, look, listen, man. Me and the brother was randomly going to the fucking Benny's the other day, and we randomly talked about how these goddamn soy boys and these niggas who join the American military to get their SRT and they Jordans and shit, they really finna run into motherfucking hundreds of thousands of Khabibs, man.
That's it.
I said every time on
Different-
TikTok,
yeah.
you got the American soldiers on TikTok dancing in.
And they be two bitches. So like, it be two
I put the
bitches.
same comment. Y'all over here doing this while the damn North Koreans over there breaking bricks with their head.
That was the next
put that
example.
shit every time.
That's the spirit,
right
man.
over their head.
There you go.
Y'all ain't ready for war, man. Y'all playing around. You had the fucking men in the American army walking around for some woman appreciation wearing heels.
Hey, but look, we always used to go into it, man. What about how the motherfucking goofy?
Come.
By the way they march, you know they harder than y'all niggas. Them niggas be stepping.
I will see, but America's
They gonna get you niggas, man.
But this is how America is, okay? Hey, we need some soldiers. Hey, go, y'all drafted. You got niggas who
Soft ass niggas.
ain't picked up a gun, ain't picked up a finger for a fist, ain't done shit, but been smoking blunts, and got Cheetos.
The movie 300 fucking spot.
And just being all kind of straight up niggas. You got all these motherfucking Edomites up there on fentanyl, on meth, and all kind of shit. Hey, we're calling you to go to the front line.
Them motherfuckers
we're
gonna
drafting
bust a
you
grape
women.
in the fruit fight.
You know what I'm saying? But then you got these other, now the difference is if Russia was to put their bitches in the army, which they don't like that, if they were, what about the little bitch who would have to?
Oh yeah, busting that shit. Yeah, she's a demon, man. I claimed her
knocking
too,
a
by the way, a
motherfucking
long
tree down.
time ago.
Of course.
I mean, God knows the Lord
But
ain't doing
it's a
it.
difference in night and day
God,
between.
the Americans ain't ready, man. Y'all bitches over there crimping y'all head with damn army, man. How y'all get all that damn hair care products over there?
How y'all get the time right? She should be out the weave.
Hey,
They got fresh weaves. They over there with
Fucking
fresh
black
weaves
over
and
here.
camos, man.
And we ain't leaving you bitches out either.
Y'all finna get a little worse.
Yeah, I'm telling this brother, even in Russia, man, they had center block on their body,
Yeah.
no shirt on.
Cold as hell.
Other dude would take center block, break it on his body, he'd just get right back up like this.
I know, hey, Salonga, they had this one nigga, man. This nigga broke some ice. I guess when he broke some ice, there was some ice out there and shit, right? This dude get the weights, man, like heavy. The nigga put him on there, he walked to the fucking water and get the squat, man, just in under the water, freezing, ice water. I said, man,
Yeah, they do that shit.
It's called cold cycling, I believe. And they do it with testosterone. They need testosterone.
They do build your testosterone, yep.
But you got the American
It
troops,
does.
man and woman talking about
Hey.
non-binary, and they this is the stuff that
That's why some Dawson Creek and shit.
Hey, they, hey, even when it even when it comes to their children in their schools, it's required that their children learn how to fly planes and helicopters and shoot assault rifles.
That's education.
In Russia,
That's education.
to defend yourself in Russia, they teach. You know, Russia put most of their funding into their military and into war and into their blessing. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Joel, it talks about fighting the weak, said it strong, but it said what? Beat your plowshares
Con.
and project the swords,
Con.
which is leaving off your agriculture and getting into weaponry.
And that's what, yeah, Russia did that.
And
Yeah.
they in regard to the people, help provide weaponry to these weaker nations.
God.
They look at America like, look, man, we'll blow you off the fucking map. We'll
Hey,
shoot your dick off.
hey, even in certain video games, if you play, my father, he ex-military, he play a game called Command and Conquer. Now in Command and Conquer, in the game, it show you different weapons that the military have. Russia has always been, you always play with Russia. Because Russia had nukes, Russia had this, Russia had that, and Russia had Tesla technology. Their tanks was always stronger. Everything was always stronger because even Esau know, these regular Edomites know that Russian military is more superior than an American military.
That's Revelation.
Hey, that mindset stuff.
That's Revelation 13, where it says the end of this beast system is going to be the bear, which is so the Lord put that spirit on them to be like that. He put that ultimate Edomite spirit to devour this Edomite over here in the west.
Exactly, and see, that's the thing. With them being who they are and the way they are and the way the Lord is controlling this show of Russia, like you said, there's a requirement that all they males have to do a 2-year stint in the military off top. All of them got to do it. All of them. I think it's about 19, 20 years old. You got a 2-year stint.
Yeah. Hey, there's a video. It was out years
Everybody a
ago.
veteran.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So like, go ahead.
No, I said it's a video years ago. There was American soldiers had under bed, explosion going off,
When they-
laying under bed crying.
In war, in the time of war, these motherfuckers in a building, and they're like, "Oh, this train closing! Oh no! Ah!" It's like you motherfucker, you got a brrr too. Are you scared, bitch?
Corbin?
Corbin, my man. Corbin.
Don't get your word. This is Isaiah 14. And now we can start to it, verse 9. Hell from beneath is moved for thee, beneath thee at thy coming, and stir up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. So the dead is talking about the other nations, man. But now the world is raising up against who? America.
That's it.
All right, the world is against America now, man.
That's it.
Hell, France trying to leave NATO. You know? Yeah.
It hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? So the nations are turning against you. Now they're scoffing you, man. That's a bold move for Russia to supply. Well, America's trying to have a coup in fucking Venezuela, and Russia's coming through hooking their real president up with armory, man, with weaponry. And all on the internet you see Russia and Latin America. That was a hot topic right now. This article's titled Russia and Latin America, man. They getting ready. Now they're in your backyard. Now little Venezuela's gonna have weaponry to shoot you up, man.
Yep.
All right, you got little ass Duterte, man. Little ass Philippines talking shit about America, man. That's unheard of, man.
He ain't even got a beard.
And it's basically that spirit that was presented in the 80s, man. That the Lord had that war going on in the 80s. He's just bringing that back because it was meant for this time, man.
That's it.
I got a precept for you. This is Job 12:18. It says, "He looseth the bonds of kings and girdeth their loins with a girdle." I'm gonna go down to 23, Job 12:23. He increaseth the nations, and destroyeth them. He enlargeth the nations and straighteneth them again. You go into the word straighteneth, and it goes into 1 second. It goes into H5148. It says to lead or to guide, to lead, bring, to lead, to guide, to govern. So the Lord is governing the nations, which goes back to that Proverbs 21. All right, so this is all the orchestration of the Lord, and the Lord knows how to take down these Edomites in the west, and He's going to use Russia to do it.
That's it.
You know,
Other Edomites.
other Edomites.
That's right. Malcolm will put in Job 14:5 and Ecclesiastes 3:7. I'm starting with Job 14:5.
I got it.
Go ahead, brother.
Hey, Shalom, Elder Malcolm.
Shalom. Yeah, let's finish up back
This is Job 14:5. It says, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass.
That's right. So first of all, Esau, you think that you're gonna be here forever? You know what I'm saying? China, you think that you're next?
Hold on, man. They ain't gonna have a damn. If China get next, you niggas gonna have a dog dick soup commercial. They got Happy Meal and shit. But you know what? And I'm gonna say this off subject, but on subject, and I'm gonna give it back to the other brothers. But listen, man. You niggas and you spig rolls out there, y'all will be okay with that shit. Long as the Most High ain't ruling, you niggas don't give a fuck who over you.
Exactly.
Y'all some bitch ass niggas,
Because
man.
then they have the liberty to be in wickedness.
The free doom.
That's right. To follow free doom. That's right. This is and Malcolm says Shalom.
Shalom.
And so now hit that that Ecclesiastes 3:7. You got it? I got it. A time to rend, a time to sow, a time to keep silence, a time to speak. He said, look up the word rend in the Hebrew. So I'm going to get that word rend right here, which is the Hebrew word quara, I believe. It's quara, which means, give me 1 second. To rend, literally or figuratively, revile, paint the eyes as enlarging them, cut out, rend, surely tear. All right. So the Most High is about to do a tearing, all right. Let me go back real quick. All right, and he's telling us to. So pull up the scripture again. It's a time to rend, a time to sow, a time to keep silence, and a time to tear. Right now is a time of cutting out all the wickedness. It's a time of cutting out all the heathens, cutting out anything that's contrary to the will and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. It's that time we're living in.
Hey, that vibration going out,
This
you
is
know.
what we talked about yesterday, where I heard from the apostle Ramla, which he said, if this world is going due west, all right, you want to go the exact opposite. So you want to rend, all your basically entanglements with this present evil world. All right, and then go the exact opposite way. All right, the exact opposite way, because this world is headed for destruction. So if we go the exact opposite way, then we can head for salvation and life eternal. All right, which is the kingdom of heaven. But this place is about to be destroyed, man.
Kind. Here's one more. Here's Psalms 37:34. Wait on Yahweh and keep His way, and He shall exalt thee to inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, thou shalt see it. I have seen the wicked in great power, and spreading himself like a green bay tree. Yet he is passed away, and lo, he was not. Yea, I sought him, but he could not be found.
That's it.
And that's the beautiful thing. The Most High this is the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushua's movie. He, like the brothers brought out earlier, he directed it whithersoever he will. He sets up the players and he takes down the players. And right now, this is the taking down of Esau and his queendom and the rising up of the eternal kingdom of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Go ahead, Lahan.
Real quick, man. This is Psalms chapter 1, verse 4. It says, "The ungodly are not so, but are like the chaff which the wind driveth away. Therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous."
That's right. It says no way they can stand. So, but this takes the Most High to do it because we can't do it. We need the Lord to do it.
That's right.
And that's why we appreciate the Most High putting them hooks and pulling. Because when somebody real quick, well, let me get this real quick before you start. I'll give yours. In Obadiah, in the first chapter, the first verse, this will let you know that the Most High is the one behind the scenes pulling and making Esau. If the Most High didn't intervene to stop Esau, we would not make it. All right, this is Obadiah 1:1.
Hey, Salaki. Hey, to prove that, just a real quick point. Like you just said, if the Most High didn't stop to intervene Esau, we wouldn't make it. Hey, if the Most High didn't stop to intervene us, Esau wouldn't have made it to get us. The Most High had to shut us down for Esau to get us, man. Esau ain't no fucking body, man.
Rock sold them, that's right.
Exactly. Calm, brother.
That's it.
There you go.
That's right, brother. Obadiah 1:1, the vision of Obadiah. Thus saith Yahweh power concerning Edom. We've heard a rumor from the Yahweh. Ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, let us rise up against her. Battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring thee down to the ground? Now before the Lord put that spirit in Esau, Edom, to go into outer space, to go and set up some satellites and so forth, who was stopping Esau at that time?
No,
Was not Esau in his full power and his full strength?
you couldn't, right?
Who can make war with the beast?
That's it.
Man.
And nobody was. If you look at the from the 1900s to 1960s, when Esau went in America, we had the Spanish War. We had one other. Basically, all Esau subdued all the Edomites. We have been subdued all the other people. Esau was at the top. So now he thought he was. That's why the Lord says, okay, now this is where I'm gonna bring you down. When you've done this, now I'm gonna start bringing you down.
It says, lift not up thine horn on high, for promotion cometh not from the east, nor the west, nor the south. Right? But it's the Most High who's setting up one and, putting down one and setting up another, and so on and so forth, according to his will.
That's right.
Right? Real quick, Proverbs 16:4. The Lord hath made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil.
Come on, bro. The Lord, and we did this all. I know all y'all. I'm about to date myself, but I remember when I had my Castle Grayskull and He-Man.
Oh, Salaki, brother.
My Castle Grayskull, He-Man, and Skeletor and all that other shit. You would set up. You would set up. You would set up. You'll put Adam, because he was Adam before he was He-Man. You put him in all kind of straits, and you have all the other people fucking him up, and then you have him damn near he's gonna win, but he gets his sword, he turns into He-Man, and then he gets the tiger thing comes by, he jumps on, he comes fuck up Skeletor, you put him in the dungeon, we won. This is the Most High's movie. This is the Most High doing this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's why he said, hey, Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, but it says that he has a bounds that he cannot pass, man. The joy of the hypocrite, the joy of the wicked is but for a moment. They're going to have their time because it's a purpose for that, okay? But then afterwards, after their time is up, after they reach their bounds, all right, then the day of evil, they have to be eradicated. They have to be destroyed because the Most High God is a righteous power, okay?
I got some.
Let me be real quick. This is Sirach 21:4. To terrify and to do wrong will waste riches. Thus the house of proud men shall be made desolate. Woo! And that's all Esau has ever done since his existence. Terrify and do wrong.
Yep.
Wasted nothing but riches. Depleted the entire earth of all the resources. He's killing every goddamn thing. Literally. So he has to go.
Well, I mean, look at what he did here, just here on the plains, to the North American Indians, or what the Northern Kingdom brothers that was here, Reuben and Gad.
Tried to eradicate them.
Kill off over 1 million buffalo, just so that they can't have anything to eat.
Eradicate a whole species.
Well, look at them turning the world upside down. It says, surely you're turning the things upside down. It says, all the foundations of the earth are of course, man. And it's because of the inhabitants thereof. All right, those that's ruling first and foremost, man.
Man, we haven't had fresh air for years.
You know, we'll probably never breathe fresh air.
You know what I'm saying? For years.
Now, one thing I remember, I took from El Yasharon when he came the last time, we never had nothing that was our own.
Yeah.
Like cars, or homes, the silverware at the restaurant.
But we invented stuff and couldn't even prosper off of what we invented.
Yep.
How the hell I invent something? Cause look, all right, you invented, you made it. I'm not gonna give you a patent because you're gonna give me the patent. So now what I'm gonna do is give you some money for you not to say shit.
Hey, even ways of life.
If you say anything, okay.
Like I done cut you a deal.
But I made this.
Yeah.
Do you have the money? Oh, you can't get a patent because it's illegal for a nigga to get a patent. So you want to go out or you want me to just go what you want? You want this little bit I'm gonna give you? You want this crumb? Take this crumb.
Hey, what's crazy? Even when it comes to standards of living, we created etiquette. We created etiquette, that kingly way of living.
Yeah, your grandma was raised you growing up telling you don't eat with your elbows on the table.
Gun.
That's
That's
just Ciroc.
gun.
They tell you when somebody greet you, greet them back. That's
Gun.
just Ciroc.
Hey, not
See, that's right. They
yeah.
was cussing out the men of the Lord for making sure because they didn't wash their hands a certain particular way.
Even dipping in the bowl with
It's
somebody
something.
else, that's a Ciroc. When the Lord put that on Judas, that was a prophecy in Ciroc. It was rudeness, man. It was going into that, man.
Gun. And then Esau sit there and make it seem like we the barbarians, but really, he's the barbarian.
Right.
Even
But what niggas is, and you just look at this, the low level niggas is because niggas on the
oh yeah,
vertical
of
level.
course.
But even when you go to like, say you in the county or jail,
Gun.
they got etiquette on dealing with shit.
Oh yeah.
This toilet is for the pissing only. This would be for that. They separate shit because they tell you when you go there, it's just barbaric. But you know, niggas is niggas. But it's a lot of extra. It's a lot of order. Yeah, it's a lot of order.
A courtesy flush.
Esau,
Yeah.
Esau created the niggas though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He created niggas, man. Because it says, as the king is himself, so are his
So are the
officers.
people.
All right, and then so are the people, man. All right, that they rule over. Okay, and then you got Israel is the best at everything, so that's why I said, hey, my people has overpassed the deeds of the actual wicked.
Because Esau was created to be wicked.
Exactly,
Esau
that's
was
all they
created-
could do.
Esau was created to be wicked. He,
That-
like you said, it's not even in his DNA to do nothing else. But that's why, hey, I really vividly understand the Apostle Elder Tahar. He used to say it all the time. I'm gonna jump over Esau to be getting to you niggas. Man.
Because the niggas know
I
how
hate
to
you
do
niggas.
wickedness better.
They wise to do
Esau.
evil. They
Yeah.
aside his children.
That's it. See, the thing is it's just that Esau Edom, he can't do nothing else but wickedness.
That's his.
Right.
That's
He
his.
can't get it right.
If you're an Israelite and you delve into wickedness now, hey, you are capable and able to return, all right, to righteousness and do what's right.
At least Jake has hope and they can repent.
Right.
Esau can't do that, man.
Right.
Never.
That's right.
He's stuck.
That's right.
God, this is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, I read verse 7. It says, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work, only he who will let it until he be taken out the way. So it goes way back with the Job that the brother read. He has his appointed time, all right, he had to rule, and now he's going to be what? The next verse says, and then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. And guess what? Now he's being burned up by these words. That's why he's doing channels. If this was just a book of fairy tales, which he had told you it was, and it had no merit, and had
No validity.
no validity, but yet he based modern history after Yahushua. Now that it's revealing him.
Salaki, hey, in God we trust.
Yeah.
What happened to that shit?
Yeah.
In God we trust. Not to expound on your brother, hold on, but he got your ass swearing in the court on the Holy Bible. Just going with the elder brother Ariella going into. He got you swearing on the highest state. He got his king. He got the president swearing on the Holy Bible. But at the same time, in one of his, and this is go back to the division in California, they declared the Bible as a fucking weapon. Like, come on now.
Let's go back to 1983. Ronald Reagan called, was it 83 or 85, whatever year it was,
year of the Bible.
the year of the Bible. So according to the president, they set a precedent that we honored the Bible back in 1983.
Even with archaeology.
When the Swat talking about we are better them with
Offending the law. Yeah, offending the law. Yeah.
Psalm 50 and 16.
God.
Psalm 50 and 16. When I do the wicked to declare.
Declare my statutes when you throw them right behind you. What you about to say, Benji?
It's like even with archaeology, when you go into how they search up certain things, they based a lot of their archaeology off of the scriptures. They use it as a blueprint and a map, and it's a reference point.
And they find it too.
And they
That's
find
what
it.
they searching for it,
And
and then they lie about it. I forget the bitch name. She found the wall of Jericho and broke it down that, and it's so cold. I believe it was the West Wall. For that reason, the Lord may remember. The West Wall, and they found where that scarf was hung at, because it's it's fused into the concrete. They found all of that, man.
And
I forget the bitch name, but then years later, they sent somebody else and they declared it wasn't real. But they do that. They find the real shit and then they don't want the public to know about it.
Right, but also the Jericho finding, because the scriptures talk about how it got burnt. They actually found the fucking wood that was burnt.
Oh yeah, they found the wall was burnt.
Yeah.
And how everything was like it was left in a hurry and shit. And they found the tower, the western part of the wall, the tower. where the window was at, where Rahab was, let them out the scarf. It was still there.
Even when you go into
that the devils fear and tremble because they need our narrative, the script that was given to us to keep up with the times as well.
No lies of the truth, man.
No lies of the truth. They're using our history to measure the times, like we know.
Hey, even with Mount Sinai, Ron Wyatt, the spirit actually jumped on him to find a lot of these things. Ron Wyatt he found the chariot wheels in the bottom of the Red Sea. He found the real Mount Sinai because he went into what Esau was doing, and these not only Esau but these other Arab nations, they was hiding the fact that they would call this Mount Sinai, and the Mount Sinai that they said was the real Mount Sinai wasn't the real Mount Sinai, and the spirit was told Ron Wyatt basically it don't line up, and he did the actual research and history to find Mount Sinai, which found the rock that Moses hit and it split, and they actually went into how it proves the eroding and how the water came out from the eroding of the rocks. They found the pictures of the brazen bull. They found the pictures of that. They found the pictures of not only that, but the top of Mount Sinai was burnt. And it said it looked like the rock on the top actually melted on the side. And he got locked up. They put him in prison for it.
I remember that.
They kidnapped him. Him and his sons, they kidnapped him. All right. And him and his son, they kidnapped him. And then after they kidnapped him, he couldn't come back. He was barred from it for a while, and then they allowed him to come back. But when he was allowed to come back, they had a gate around it to where couldn't nobody get into it. Right. So what you're hiding? And he also found the 12 stones. When they crossed, they said that it was a pillar that was there. You know, the scriptures say don't remove monuments. They say the Arab government. They came in and they said the story it's a whole story behind it, that the military came in with helicopters and dumped the stones random places into the actual Red Sea, and they put a plaque there. So they took the monument down and put a plaque where the monument once stood. So, but it's still showing that that's where it stood at. It would show Esau and these other nations was going to Psalms 83. How the enemies are confederate against, they consult against the hidden ones, because Esau and these other nations is literally in league, and that's why these Arab nations is really catching hell, because they really made a big fucking pact with Esau, man. Right? They princes, man. These motherfuckers got gold palaces. They got palaces where the floors are gold, the toilets are gold. Hey, look at Dubai, man. All of this is built off slave money, man. You know?
Hey, Malcolm put a couple things out here. He said that the year of the Bible was in 1982. He said he thinks it's Proclamation 50 or 51. Then he says they have a movie in the 1970s or early 80s about Noah's Ark showing all relics and evidences. That's right. He said, and I remember that, and they know where Noah's Ark. They still preserve.
Mount Ararat.
No one can go over there. They got it recorded also
on the bottom of it.
You know what I'm saying? And so, but there is pictures, and they have evidence of it. Psalms 85:11. Let us not forget. He said, somebody give me Psalms 85:11. He said, let us not forget that the Wailing Wall is really what's left of Fort Antonia. He said, Sea Explorer Jacques Cousteau took a sub with a glass bottom to the bottom of the Red Sea and took images of the chariots that are still there to this day. Right? And so, and you know, somebody get that Bible, that Psalms 85:11 for the elder. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what we know this, because the scriptures give us. We follow the scriptures that leave the clues. Esau looked at the scriptures that left the clues, so they knew. That's why they trembled. They know that the Most High is real. They got the satellites. They got the space binoculars, telescope, whatever the hell.
Most of them
do tremble.
That's it. And that's kind. They believe and they do tremble. They know and they can see what's going on, and they see the chariots come. They see the chariots come over their military base. Turn on the nuke off. You know what I'm saying? Turn all of them on, like beep beep, and they're like, oh shit, panicking and shit, and then they're trying to figure out nothing. The button won't work. And next thing just go shut off. You know what I'm saying? They see this shit. Right?
It's
That's
more.
the whole point. The whole point is to get you not to believe. They believe. The whole point
They
is
see
to
the
get you
shit.
not to believe.
So they can be in control.
Yeah, that's it.
They control the narrative when you don't believe.
That's it.
That's it.
And most of the satellites is pointed out towards the heavens.
That's it.
You know, I was watching a astrologer, and he was talking to a government official, and he said, you know, what are we looking for? And he was like, well, it's not what we're looking for, but what we're waiting for. So they
They just put it on the movie.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
way is up. What the
Don't
fuck?
Don't look up.
They just put it on. He said, look, it's happening at this time. Now, granted, you know, in the spirit, it's always some foolishness in there. The scripture say no man knoweth the hour nor the time when the Lord coming. But at the same time, that shit was very spiritual. That's exactly what the brother just said. The elder brother just said.
The scripture said that he made a diligent search, man.
Oh yeah. He made that.
Tell you how
Yep.
fast a hummingbird beats his wings per second, man.
So you telling me they know they shit. They say they know more about space than they do shit here on Earth.
Hey, the scripture say that
So they say.
they don't.
Of course they don't.
And you
Yeah,
can't
of course
go
they
into a
don't.
fucking
Yeah, of course
ocean
they don't.
And know what go to the bottom. You can't tell me about
Right.
outer space. Go ahead. What you say?
Of course,
I'm
God,
just gonna say,
God.
but the scriptures let you know that the children of light are wise. The children of this generation are wiser than the children of light. He definitely is smart. He goes the brother quote down wiser than Daniel. Hey, Esau is definitely got the ups on you stupid ass Negroes and Spigros out there in America acting a goddamn fool, man.
Yeah, Judah 2, and lets you know the account. It says while their power wasn't with them and they offended, they were given to death, to the sword, to slavery, because they know what profit is this when we serve our power. All right, is it in Samuel where it says if we all if Israel
Called on the Lord,
we pray
we'll be
Holocaust.
saved.
King Solomon.
Yeah.
King Solomon prayed that.
Right. He said the Lord will come save us. So of course it's to their benefit to hide our identity, like the book says, because they know what the prophet is. If we know who we are, if we're serving our power, they have no part. They have no part in any rulership, because then the blessings come. Deuteronomy 28:1-15.
And they have to be slaves.
Yeah.
They won't be ruling no more.
They don't want that.
Yeah.
You got that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, brother.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 85, verse 11. It says, truth shall spring out of the earth,
Perfect.
and righteousness shall look down from heaven.
And see, and that's what it is. The Lord is causing truth to spring forth out of the earth, from artifacts to relics to more manuscripts. Just even the manuscripts that came out in the Dead Sea Scrolls, they were all in Greek. All in Greek. But guess what? The name of the Father and the name of the Son were in pure Hebrew. You can't make it up. All right? The Lord is bringing this truth out, because if He didn't let it spring up where we can see the truth, we will continue to believe the narrative and believe the fucking lie. All right? Malcolm said it was Saudi Arabian government that did the actual hiding the evidence of the true Mount Sinai. And then H. Rail said, he said, Elder, there was a story of Jacques Cousteau seeing a huge eyeball in the water that frightened him so bad he refused to talk about it. He said, could it be seen as Leviathan? I said, yeah, kind. You know what I'm saying? You never know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
It's possible.
with St. Elmo's fire, man. Like they tell you how the Northern Kingdom got over here. Basically the Lord led them over here. And Cristobal Colon used St. Elmo's fire. That's how he knew how to get over here. And it was a chariot that showed him how to get over here. And this is documented history. You know what I'm saying?
The Lord had to show the Lord had to show the Northern Kingdom how to get over here. He had to stay the waters and show
right.
them how to get over here, just for them to get over here.
Can.
Because with the technology that was at the time, if you didn't have it,
You
would
could-
have
you-
been out there in the middle of the ocean and
Just floating. Right.
The Most High's prophecies had to come to pass. Right?
Can.
That's why the Most High allowed it to come. So somebody give me Ezekiel
Yeah, Raul said
29. Shemaiah, it's a little bit too much.
Ezekiel 29.
Ezekiel 29 and 1, Bible shot. Read down a little bit.
This is Ezekiel chapter 29, verse 1. In the 10th year, in the 10th month, in the 12th day of the month, the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and prophesy against him and against all Egypt.
Now, this is not physical Egypt. This is talking about America. If you can prove that in Revelations, was it 13? It's like a Revelations 11:8 when it talks about how this is spiritual Egypt. Right? The Lord calls America spiritual
Sodom and Egypt.
Yeah.
We can't leave that part out.
That's right.
Spiritual Sodom
in Egypt. That's right, brother.
Found Sodom and Gomorrah too.
That's it. Go ahead. That's right. Sodom and Gomorrah too. That's right. You're quiet. Go ahead.
Speak and say, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I am against thee, Pharaoh king of Egypt, the great dragon that lieth in the midst of his rivers, which hath said, my river is mine own, and I have made it for myself. But I will put hooks in thy jaws, and I will cause the fish of thy rivers to stick unto thy scales. And I will bring thee up out of the midst of thy rivers, and all the fish of thy rivers shall stick unto thy scales. And I will leave thee thrown into the wilderness, thee and all the fish of thy rivers, and thou shalt fall upon the open fields. Thou shalt not be brought together, nor gathered. I have given thee for meat to the beasts of the field, and to the fowls of the heaven. And all the inhabitants of Egypt shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh, because they have been a staff of reed in the house of Israel. Keep going, keep going. It says, when they took hold of thee by thy hand, and thou didst break and rend all their shoulder. And when they leaned upon thee, thou breakest and madest all their loins to be at a stand. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I will bring a sword upon thee, and cut off man and beast out of thee. And the land of Egypt shall be desolate and waste, and they shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh, because he has said, the river is mine, and I have made it. Behold, therefore I am against thee and against thy rivers, and I will make the land of Egypt utterly waste and desolate, from the tower of Syene even unto the border of Ethiopia. No foot of man shall pass through it, no foot of beast shall pass through it, neither shall it be inhabited 40 years. And I will make the land of Egypt desolate in the midst of the countries that are desolate, and her cities among the cities that are laid waste shall be desolate 40 years, and I will scatter the Egyptians among the nations, and will disperse them through the countries. Yet thus saith the Lord God, at the end of 40 years will I gather the Egyptians from the people whither they were scattered. And I will bring again the captivity of Egypt, and will cause them to return into the land of Petros, and to the land of their habitation. And they shall be there a base kingdom. It shall be the basis of the kingdoms, neither shall it exalt itself anymore above the nations. What were you at right there? This is Ezekiel chapter 29, verse 15. It shall be the basis of the kingdoms, neither shall it be exalt itself anymore above the nations, for I will diminish them, that they shall no more rule over the nations. And it shall be no more the confidence of the house of Israel, which brings their iniquity to remembrance, when they shall look after them, but they shall know that I am the Lord God.
So you got Jake following Esau, Edom, in this modern day Egyptian, Babylonian, Assyrian, Ninevian. Esau in America has inhabited all the bad traits of every society that's ever fucking been. All right? And the Most High, now jump back up, Baba Kushah, to verse 4.
Shawty Low, he done it all.
Say it again, brother.
He like Shawty Low, he done it all.
That's it.
Shawty Low. Hey, listen. Hey, the scripture going to the 10 toes. That's spiritual. When he say Shawty Low, I'm 10 toes down. They ass going down. Shawty, this is part. Hey, it's spiritual.
But also too, though, the scripture talking about how the Lord will set the basis of men. All right, so this kingdom is really ruled
by the basis
of men,
and
man.
everybody who follows him
are
the
basis
basis of men too.
Yeah. Hey, as all the sword of people, you know?
That's it.
Right.
Jump up to verse 4, Baba Kushah.
Ezekiel chapter 29, verse 4. It says, but I will put hooks in thy jaws, and I will cause the fish of thy rivers to stick unto thy scales, and I will bring thee up out of the midst of thy rivers, and all the fish of thy rivers shall stick unto thy scales.
So wait a minute. The Lord said he's going to put hooks in the Russians' jaws. And the Lord said he's going to put on America's jaws. So guess what? The Most High's controlling all this, and he's hooking them both and mustering them to the battle. All right? That's why World War III is imminent. All right? We were getting very, very close to World War III. Someone get Isaiah 19, 1 and 2. I know the brother had mentioned it earlier. Matthew 24 and 7. Okay? And we can get 2nd Esdras 13, when they talk about the nations, they're starting to fight themselves, and then the Spirit of the Lord brings the chariots out of the Great Sea, which is out of space, and now everybody's like Ronald Reagan said, what if some
Unknown force.
Some unknown force comes in, and we must now fight together.
What
To,
are our differences?
You know,
Right.
our differences, right.
Hey.
And so, but this is the time that we're living in.
And NATO, a lot of them NATO countries don't agree with what's going on between America, what America is doing with Ukraine. A lot of them they don't agree with what's going on because they know but they have to, right,
But
yeah.
the beautiful part is they're all in league.
Yeah.
See, look, some of those nations now because because of how the money's distributed, but
They ain't got no
on the
choice
longest
but to,
time,
they.
it goes back to the Obadiah.
Yep.
Even them that ate the bread, even them that partook.
Yep.
Because back then, when America was at its strength, there was economical. It was strategical. It was diplomatic that they had relations with America. So they're fragmented because some of those countries resent America now. But they're in league. That's the same thing with Germany.
Okay.
That's why, because Germany, to some degree, because they have to rely on Russia for certain things, doesn't necessarily want to. But because they're part of NATO, they're part of the EU. They have to.
They got a deal.
Right. That's why the hold over the beast, because that's
They gotta stay that beast. They gotta stay connected as a beast system until the prophecy comes to pass, which is what the beast shall hate the Lord. They have to stay connected.
This is part of it. This is why the face of turn America, man. That's right. They fucking up their money. You fucking up the church money.
But they're not only fucking up their money, they're fucking up their whole economy. With this whole slamdemic and everything, you got all the constituents of each individual people coming against them. The world is in so much turmoil right now. All right, that it's now EU looking over at America like, well, we cool, but we ain't cool, nigga. Everybody is have hands in this pot, in this pot. Everybody else hands in the pots.
It's chaos right now.
It's chaos. It's
chaos.
It's chaos in every single way. That's why the Lord said He's going to disappoint them in all the devices and to disappoint them in all their systems. The Lord is putting wrinkles in all their systems. Go ahead, brother.
Habakkuk 2 and 7. Yeah. Okay, it says yea, also because he has transgressed by wine, for he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his gates as hell, and is not, I can't see, and is not dead, and cannot be, kind of for water, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, that gave unto him all nations, and he took unto him all peoples, man.
Jake needs some glasses. Right.
Extra large print.
Where your glasses at?
I'm about to get some, man.
He was reading the scripture sideways.
He kept going sideways.
That's what we need to That's not what the scripture say. The scripture say he enlarged his desires here.
Desire,
because he saw his insatiable man. I'll read it over for you. I'm the blindest nigga in Israel, man. So he got it.
Right.
This is Habakkuk 2 and 5 for edification purposes. This is Habakkuk 2 and 5. It says, yea, also because he transgressed by wine, this is false doctrine and philosophy. It said, he is a proud man, they can keep it at home, who enlarging his desires hell, and is as deaf and cannot be satisfied, but gathered unto him all nations, and heap it unto him all people. You got it, big guy.
Yeah, he want total control, man. All right, and the thing is, the difference between Russia and America is that Russia really bad about it, man.
Yeah.
Like they ain't trying to push no doctrine, man. Like this is what we believe, and this is what we stand on.
Hey, Salaki, but you know what's, and it goes back to the heart of the kings and the hand of the Lord, because me and a brother, we was walking to the liquor store like 2 days ago. Me and a brother were talking a lot of shit. No, it was last night, and we was just talking about some goofy ass shit, you know, like some regular bullshit. In the spirit, we said that it's crazy that all the other, this was after the line, they said all the other nations really believe, and it's actually true, but it shows the Lord is in control, because these people are heathens. They fighting in the name of ridding the world of its evil.
Mm-hmm.
They're actually doing that. These niggas trying to get a Camaro and some Jordans and a black woman. That's no type of ambition.
Right.
Not at all. These other nations, you got motherfucking, to prove that, you got these old jihad ass them sand niggas, shit smell. You know, you got some sand niggas blowing they say, you know, they'll deal with you. They'll fight it right on the top, man. But then you got these the mighties of the East, you got these Russian guys, right? But then you got Russians that's Muslims.
Right,
With that, the Lord is really stirring up that. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right.
You gonna have a 55 fucking hundreds of thousands of Khabibs at your ass, man.
Right.
You niggas ain't ready for this shit that's going down.
Right, them gays that were getting beat when they were trying to do the equal rights, the cops started beating that faggot ass, man.
Damn.
And the people were cool with it, man.
Strike.
You know, somebody get the message.
Mess.
Somebody get Second Ezra's the 13th chapter.
This is Second Ezra's chapter
13, start at the top. Because this is the culmination of the Lord putting the hooks. All right? Because the Lord's going to pull them to fight each other. And then the Lord going to pull them to fight him.
Right.
Right? And I mean, and that's the ultimate pull right there. That's the ultimate pull. Hey, come fight me. Hey, mama.
Scared.
Oh, pop.
Scared. And get Dirk's fight.
Hey, that's like that army dude in Don't Look Up when he got the shooting at.
Shabbat.
That was the army dude who was in Don't Look Up. He got the shooting at the damn. He got the shooting at the damn asteroid. You ain't gonna take me alive. Right. He still get his ass smoked.
And I love how Esau, even through his movies, and now, see, all my life watching movies, toward the end of the movie, I don't give a fuck what the adverse scenario was, always the good guys came out in the end, or America came out and everything was wonderful. But after that, Iron Man and a couple other movies where they snapped and everybody gets cut off and dead, that don't look up, it was like, oh, you're fucked. You know what I'm saying? Because they're just, now they're letting you know, no, niggas, your end is your fucked.
Hey, but Salaki, they try to put that monkey ass shit and go off in that another thing, then come back.
Right.
Hey, the scriptures say those that dig into the hell, from this I'll bring you up. Those that go into the heavens, from this I'll bring you down. Now the top part, they just showed on this movie Don't Look Up, but on the other part, Salaki, on the other part, you know that she goes into that X-Men, I always bring it out, Days of Future Past. When Magneto got the cherry, he got that baseball field circling around himself. He got the Sentinels, he gave him the download. That was symbolic to the Lord coming back with the holy angels. And what did they do? In the cherries, they snatched the fucking bunker out of the ground.
He just pulled it out.
They just don't look up. It showed you that these monkeys in that the second Independence Day and Independence Day 2, it showed you these monkeys trying to climb their dirty ass up into the heavens. That ain't gonna happen. That opening clip, when a black woman was trying to say that baby, that Vivica Fox.
She died.
That's what's gonna happen, goddammit. The movie could have cut off right there.
Right.
Cherries and cane and smoke this bitch, and that fucking black raggedy mouth bitch died trying to save a fucking Edomite baby.
Yeah, right.
You goddamn bitch.
That's right.
Goddamn bitch.
Go ahead and get that in Bible, man. Go ahead and get that in Bible shop, brothers. Get your last precept in a little bit.
This is Second Ezra's chapter 13. I'll start at 1. And it came to pass after 7 days I dreamed a dream by night. And lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him.
See, when the Most High comes and cracks these proverbial clouds with the chariots of the Heavenly Father, and I'm talking about from the East Coast to the West Coast to the North Coast, South Coast, it's actually going to be so many ships entering into the Earth atmosphere that it's going to
They showed you
the Earth.
They showed you that in
the winds and the waves. It's going just how when you get the little rock that comes in and penetrates and goes into the ocean, and then you get tsunamis that come out, but things come into it's going to send ripples in the air, ripples in the waves on the ground and underneath.
Hey.
It's going to shake the earth.
But the second Independence Day, they showed you. Hey, the cherry was so big. Hey, they said that it had its own gravitation, own gravity.
To
Right. When it came through, even in the first Independence Day, it came in like a cloud because of that fire that was on it, you know, for coming into the atmosphere.
They
You-
showed you that in Avengers, man. When Thanos came, Spider-Man, his shit stood up. He was like, "What the fuck?"
You started
you
going
know,
crazy.
he felt
Hey,
it.
can.
It wasn't just Spider-Man. Everybody felt when Yahweh Shai cracks those clouds, you're not just gonna see it. You're gonna feel it.
Every knee shall bow, every tongue
Feel
they're
it.
gonna feel the power of
That
the
power level, man. That's gonna be a different type of power that's gonna be fucking terrifying.
he say he not gonna meet thee as a man.
I just, you know, I just think like the Jay talking. No, because Jay always talking about, I ain't scared of nobody, I ain't scared of no man.
You gonna be scared that day,
How
nigga.
he coming back as a man, man? Coming back as a true power, man.
That's right.
You know?
Hey, fuck you niggas, man. These niggas say they ain't scared of everybody and go and tell on their friends. Nigga, you
They're scared of Esau.
Hey.
You scared of Esau?
I
You
ain't
scared
seen
of
a
black
blood,
women?
crib, a lord, none of you, a king, none of you niggas.
That's not scared, right?
That's shot a clan member. All you bitch ass
Hey.
tricks scared.
Hey.
They always borrow when it come to their own.
That's what I'm saying. Nigga, you is scared.
Hey.
So one of your own gonna come back and put the biggest foot in your fucking neck ever.
Hey, the scripture say.
No, I'm gonna get right back to him. I just want to be. This is Ezekiel 32:10. Yea, I will make many people amazed at thee, and their king shall be horribly afraid for thee, when I shall brandish my sword before them, and they shall tremble at every movement, every man for his own life in the day of thy fall.
Hey, and then, you know, the scriptures say that the Lord, his sword is going to be bathed in Idumea. Then the scriptures also say the Lord said, if it was my kingdom, my servants would fight. So now, hey, look, yeah, look, dude, all these movies you done made about superheroes and, you know, hey, look, you know what I'm saying? Hey, look, you look at movies, right? You look at movies like The Fourth Kind and, you know, different paranormal movies where they show you the power of the angels, man. And they show you that an angel would really contort a motherfucker just off the power of their mind. You know what I mean? Hey, the men of the Lord are gonna have far greater power than that, man. The Lord has far greater power than that. So if these left hand spirits, if an angel can do that, what is the Lord gonna be able to do? Who's over him? Which is made over them, man. You know.
Go ahead and get back to that
Hey.
and then Yaki's we gonna end on Zechariah 5 and 1-4 from Malcolm. Any other precepts, have them just put them on deck. Go ahead, brother.
2nd Ezra chapter 13, continuing in verse 4. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea.
And that goes into the rhetoric of Reagan, Ronald Reagan. It also goes to the rhetoric of Bill Clinton, because he said the same thing. What if we got to basically fight aliens from outer space, which are the angels of the Lord? All right. Okay.
It says,
and they are coming in the chariots of their father. They call now UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenon, or unidentified flying objects. And it's in the book of Ezekiel, the 1st chapter, and many other places in the Bible. Go ahead.
Verse 6, it says, 2nd Ezra 13, verse 6. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain, and flew upon it. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not.
So that means it was not of this world. Go ahead.
And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid.
See, they saw the chariots and they were sore. I mean, like, oh fuck, I got this little plane. I'm gonna beat this big ass. This spaceship is the size of Kentucky.
You can't see the end of it.
That was the size of Texas. That was the size of Puerto Rico. That was the size of 5 football fields. It's gonna be because the chariots of the Lord vary in sizes and so forth. It doesn't matter. The most smallest chariot is all. You need one angel to destroy the earth. One angel without a chariot. One angel to destroy the earth. The Most High is doing this through power, through flexing, and through salvation and saving of His sons, man. He's doing it in a dramatic fashion because the Most High is dramatic. That's right. He's dramatic.
Hey,
He likes to show off.
Just like how the Lord was stunting when that chariot 3 times the size of the earth flew past the sun.
That's right.
You know, he was just showing off.
NASA and all the other showing the the size of it compared to whatever. Man,
A chariot the size bigger than the earth. Like, where would you even build it, motherfucker? Like you know what I'm saying? Right. You're like you got ships. Hey, like the scripture talk about the Lord graving the mountain and flew in it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when you think about it, you know. Hey man, you can't wrap your mind around it. You know.
They can't. They ain't gonna be able to look up there and understand that. It's like, it ain't moving fast. I don't have a fucking stream behind it.
And then they change shape. Here it is, a chariot the size of planets, and they can change shape in multiple colors. They can teleport like instantaneously, change direction, and do this and do that.
But we seen him though. We seen him right.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, that day above the house. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? And we'll say, oh, the chariot. You know what I'm saying? The Most High reveals it to us, all right? But go ahead.
It says, verse 9, 2 Ezra 13:9. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand nor.
Wait. He saw the violence of the multitude that came. He didn't get oh shit. He didn't go get spooked out. He said he didn't even lift it up. He said what?
He neither lifted up his hand.
He just said, come on, let's fight. Go ahead.
Nor held sword.
So come on.
Nor any instrument of war.
All right, so all the best that Esau can do.
He said, "Boop, press the button."
It didn't do nothing. It was nothing to the Father.
But what's Esau's main instrument of war? It's a thermonuclear.
That's the biggest thing is they got.
Nuclear missile, man.
Right.
That's the best he can do.
Right.
That will fuck himself up.
That'll go kill him. Right.
Go ahead. It fulfilled the prophecy because the scriptures say he shall be broken without hand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It says.
Yeah, in the spirit, you know, the Lord just holding, you know how when somebody's running at them and he just holds his hand.
Yeah, right. And they're like this, trying to fight the Lord.
Hey, it's like the movie Mars Attack. I don't know if anybody remember the movie Mars Attack. He was like nuke 'em, and they shot the nuke, and it showed like the Martians was tweaking, and then they started laughing, and they started laughing. They sucked the damn power up and started laughing at like nigga. Yeah.
I gotta keep going. Verse 10, it says, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. Now tempest is in storms, you know what I mean? So this is like a storm of fire.
A concentrated beating, yeah.
It says, verse 11, and they were all mixed together.
Man.
The blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest. And fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight.
Well prepared.
Right.
He say that he thought he was.
He thought it right. Fuck around and find
We
out.
got enough weapons? Yeah, we should be good.
Right.
No, nigga, not.
Poof.
And that's your war in heaven, man.
Come on, brother.
Not some spiritual demon trying to fight against the Lord. This is great good.
History Channel, they got the smoke, niggas telling them. Rotating and shit. That's that bullshit you niggas live. I used to do that stupid shit in the world. I get high. Yeah, watch that. Niggas be watching AME swear he eat a fat ass bowl of cereal.
Captain
Damn, that's stupid ass shit. No, man, right, this shit.
Yeah, it says, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up everyone, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived.
How much was it?
An innumerable multitude.
So they threw the whole kitchen sink in there.
An innumerable
Poof.
multitude. Nothing was to be perceived.
He fucked them all.
But only dust and the smell of
So
smoke.
let the Most High continue to hook these people and pull them all in his World War III, because he's going to decimate.
That's some scary
all
shit.
Of them. All some of them.
Well, you said that's some scary shit?
Yeah.
What did Edris say after that?
When I saw this, I was afraid.
That's a prophet.
Right.
And he wasn't gonna get that smoke.
Right,
But
he
he
was
was
saying
like, God damn.
off of what it was. Yes, we ain't never seen
He
nothing
knows
like
beyond
this.
his, because he knew it was beyond his control. And that's what Jay got to realize. This shit is beyond our control. So why wouldn't we be with the right side, with the right side? We went to
Remind me of a
slavery.
dream I
Everything
had.
else happened. Why the fuck this ain't happening, man? It's happening. It's shit like a pop-up book. Every time you turn the fucking page, it's happening. You niggas are crazy. And in 2nd Ezra 4:28, it lets you know the good cannot come unless it be destroyed where the evil is sown. All right, you ain't gonna pour shit on shit and call it a sandwich, man. That's what you niggas like to do.
No,
But I got that. Oh, you have something, brother?
no, we should talk about instead of feeling of a nigga got fellowship with you, man. You know.
I got that Zechariah
So
5.
we're gonna end on this one right here. So like, any other precepts real quick?
one.
Go ahead, Elder. And then we go, yeah, no more now. Go ahead, brother.
Precept on Capital I just read. This
Yeah, right.
Revelation 12:7, and there was war in heaven. Michael, and that's what that war is talking about, man.
That's it.
How shine the angels versus Esau, and his angel, which is the dogfighter jets.
Independent, that shit.
Yeah.
All his their place.
Yeah.
Esau called they shit the Blue Angels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it says, and there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought against his angels with that dragon, Esau Edom. All right. So it says,
The old serpent.
and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. So
Rejected.
so you're gonna fight and fail. Miracles and horrors, man.
That's
All
it.
right. And say neither was your place found any more in heaven, man. Because once the Lord take you down this time, that's it for you, devils. Period, man. This is your last time to be in rulership, man.
That's right. This is Zechariah 5:1. It says, Then I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said
And that
unto
flying
me,
roll are the chariots of the Lord, man.
and he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof is 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stilleth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. Then the angel that talked with me went forth and said unto me, Lift up now thine eyes, and see what is that goeth forth.
That's it. So the Lord is bringing World War III to pass, man. All the hooks are cast. All the players that's going to be involved is already being pulled and already set. And the dividing line is set. You got Russia on one side. You got America on the other side. With Russia, you got China. You got North Korea. You got certain Arab countries and
Shit, Africa, shit.
Iran and certain whatever. You got a whole bunch of nations that's going on their side. On the American side, you got the NATO, you got the South Korea, you got all these other countries that's on their side. And now it's going to be, this is all leading to World War III, right? And it's already set. Now we just got to wait for those events, according to the slamdemic, things that's going on because of this shit, that's going to pull and enforce this, the MOTB, the Revelations 13, 15 through 17, all right, 18, and that's going to, the Lord is, all the puzzle pieces are being perfectly set, and we are right in perfect position for salvation if you follow Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, Hashem Harachakodash, in truth and sincerity. Otherwise, you're going to be part of Esau Edom and the destruction of Esau Edom, the so-called white man, America, the horde that sits on this beast.
If the scripture tell you they that be joined unto him should be thrust through, so you're gonna get the same judgment as this damn devil. You're gonna be joined unto him. Man.
That's casting a lot of that curse. They cast a lot in the same curse, man.
Yeah.
He gonna touch pitch and be defiled therewith. You niggas chose this, as Natazaki would say, the death style. You niggas chose death. The Lord gave you a clear a clear path, choose life or death. But at the same time, the doors of repentance are closing. But the Lord lets you know all day long, His hand is stretched out.
That's it.
His hand is stretched out.
So that's it. So hopefully this has been edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua Bashim. All praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Rakakwadash.
Double honors to the apostles out of New York, a great millstone of GMS. Honors to all Akim around the planet, lifting up the name of Yahweh Yahweh Shai in truth and sincerity. Shalom to the Aquas who are obedient to their husbands. You cannot leapfrog over your husband to get to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. So with that, we're going to say Shalom and Abba Ball.
Abba Ball.
Until next time, continue to keep